What's up guys, Game Nut here, and welcome back to some more Madden 21. I have just a little short fun video for you guys today, just something to put up. I did this last year and I figured, why not? Let's go ahead and put this vid up for you guys again this year, just to see what Madden does, man. So last year we went through, simulated a whole season in Connected Franchise to see who Madden predicted to win the Super Bowl that year, and I thought, why not? Let's go ahead on Madden 21, make a Connected Franchise, and see who they are going to predict to be the winners of Super Bowl 55. So here we are sitting on the main menu of our Connected Franchise. I started one as the head coach of the Ravens, which you guys know is John Harbaugh, which is also my favorite team if you guys are new around here. But I guess pretty much how this is going to go, we really don't have to do anything because we're just kind of simulating to see what Madden automatically predicts to be the outcome of the season. So I think what we're just going to do is I'll simulate to probably like week number 5, go through 4 games of the season, check out what everybody's record is looking like across the league, go through 4 more games, get to the halfway point, maybe we'll check out the league leaders and some stats and whatnot, and then I guess we'll, simulate through the rest of the thing, take a look at the playoff picture, see, again, all the league leaders, the guys that won the awards for the year, as well as, once we make it to then the Super Bowl, I guess we'll do a little simulation where it puts us on the field with that giant, like, big TV screen, and it goes by super quick. We'll do it that way instead of, just the boring, simulate to next week. But I guess, like I said, there's nothing else really to do. I'll see you guys in week number 5. Alright, and just like that, we have teleported into the future. We are now sitting at week number 5 of our regular season. And as you guys can see, as for the AFC North, my Ravens, we're currently sitting at 3-1, which isn't too bad. Well, oh wow, that's not leading our division. Actually, the Steelers are. They're technically undefeated. They actually have a tie. Wow, that's kind of funny. So let's go ahead, take a look at each division. We'll start here. Well, you guys already saw, 2-2 for both the Bengals and the Browns. My Ravens looking good at 3-1, but I'm interested to see who the Steelers ended up getting that tie with. Oh, I guess this was probably at the Texans here. I can't imagine there's another tie in the league, but both the Titans and the Colts are sitting at 3-1 at this point. That seems pretty solid. The Texans are 2-1-1. I can see that making sense. And then the Jaguars sitting at 0-4. Okay, you know what? So far these records, they kind of look legit. However, here, I'm not too sure about this. Patriots going 3-1. So they think, New England's just going to be same old with Cam Newton just plugged in there. I don't know about that. Dolphins are sitting at 2-2, and then both the Jets and Bills are at 1-3. Now the surprising one here is Bills sitting at 1-3 because I think they're going to be a solid team this year. So I don't know what's going on here. And then last but not least, the AFC West, we've got ourselves the Chargers at 2-2, as well as the Broncos, and the Chiefs are sitting at 1-3 with the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, I can't believe that, man. How are they going to do the former Super Bowl champs? How are they going to do them dirty like that, saying they're starting 1-3? Taking a look now at the NFC, starting with the North Division, we got ourselves the Lions leading it at 3-1. That's pretty interesting as well. And wow, this is really kind of weird. They basically flipped the division. So normally the Packers are in first, then it's second, third, and fourth, right? So it's completely in reverse right now. That's funny. Packers and Vikings both at 1-3. That's crazy, man. Simulation Madden, you gotta love it. 2-2 Bears, and then the Lions, like I said, 3-1. Looking at the NFC South, however, oh man, they don't have Tom Brady on his new team doing too good so far, man. Sitting at 1-3. Panthers at 2-2, and then both the Saints and Falcons are starting off their season strong at 3-1. NFC East, we got ourselves the Giants on top at 3-1. Okay. Football team, I just love seeing it say football team every time, man. It never gets old. It's so funny. Then we've got the Eagles and Cowboys, probably the 2 teams that are going to actually be in first and second this year. They have them as the bottom 2. Again, 1-3. I don't know what's going on with this simulation for this season, but it's definitely looking a little odd right now. And then as we go to the NFC West, we've got the Niners and the Rams both sitting at 3-1. So it looks like, they have LA coming back, being a little bit better this year. Seahawks sitting at 2-2, and the Cardinals are at 1-3. So there's the record, through 4 weeks, through the first 4 games of the season. Obviously, anything can change. There's a lot of games left in the season, but it's definitely pretty interesting to see how Madden has things turning out so far. So I guess while we're sitting here moving forward to the mid-season point, I guess I never really told you guys who I say my Super Bowl prediction for this year is, which honestly, I really don't have one. I mean, my best guess, obviously it's going to sound very biased, but I'm going to say my Ravens because, I mean, we're a solid team this year, man, on paper, and we were amazing last year. We really didn't lose any key players, and I don't know, I think we got a good shot to make it pretty far. As for the NFC, man, I think the Saints are going to make it up there. Honestly, I feel like the Seahawks could get up there. Obviously, the other teams in the AFC, I would say, are the Chiefs. But as for the top teams, you know, for both sides of the ball, or both sides of the conference, like I said, it'd probably be my Ravens and Chiefs. And on the other side, I'd have to go with Seahawks and probably the Saints. But as we're now sitting at the midway point of the season, currently at week number 9, let's go ahead and back to the standings very quickly, see how everybody is sitting now, starting with the AFC North. Seeing how things are shaping out now. Okay, we got a little shake up here. Pittsburgh is still on top, however, and they're now sitting at 5-1-1. Haven't lost, or actually, they did lose one game, but still sitting up there in first. Browns at 5-3. My Ravens have dropped to 4-3, and the Bengals are at 4-4. Very interesting. Looking at the AFC South, I mean, Titans are on top. They also have the number 1 seed, or the number 1 rank, at least it says right now, 6-1. That's crazy, man. Jaguars have come back a little bit. They're 2-5. At least they won a few games. Colts sitting at 5-2. Okay, AFC East. Oh, okay, things are getting a little bit closer here. I like this. Bills are creeping back up. They're at 3-5, along with the Dolphins. Jets are down there at 2-6, and the Patriots, okay, slowing down a bit now at 4-3. Looking at the AFC West, Chargers and Chiefs. Oh, there we go. Kansas City bounced back as well. Both these guys now sitting at 5-3. Broncos at 3-4, and the Raiders down there now at 2-5. As for the NFC North, again, things kind of shook up here as well. Packers went from last, now in first, to 4-3. Lions at 3-4. And the Vikings, wow, they've only won one game up until this point. They're 1-6. That's very interesting to see. I always love to see how Madden, simulates these and for the outcome, because a lot of the times they're not always very realistic. So it's funny to see. Falcons sitting on top of the NFC South at 6-2, and once again, Tom Brady and the Bucks, they have them not doing so well. At the bottom of the division, still at 3-5. Saints at 4-3. Panthers at 5-3. Very interesting to see. NFC East, Giants still on top. Actually, it's same positions as last time. Everybody's record is has not moved in terms of their placement, but this actually looks pretty realistic. Usually everybody in the NFC East kind of has a losing record or barely a winning one. So I kind of believe that one there. And then last but not least, NFC West, Niners back on top at 6-2. Seahawks have, come back up into the race. They're in second at 4-3. Cardinals still down there at 1-6, man, not doing too good. And the Rams are now at 4-4. Very interesting, man. This is a very interesting outcome. That's all I can say. But I guess let's go ahead now, since we're at the midpoint of the season, and try and go through some of these stats real quickly and see what everybody's looking like. So taking a look at our passing leaders, all of the QBs in the league, they have Sam Darnold as the number 1 QB right now, most passing yards, and they had one of the worst records. I love it, man. It's so funny. Justin Herbert at number 2, Matt Ryan followed by, a couple more guys. We don't have to go through the whole thing. That's just very interesting, though. Looking at passing touchdowns, however, see who's leading that. It's Matt Ryan with 23. We see Lamar Jackson there with 19. He's just under 1,900 pass yards, but very, very interesting stat so far. Who has thrown the most interceptions thus far? Cam Newton. Wow, he's 13-2 for his ratio. Garoppolo's behind him at 10, and then we got a couple of 9s here with Burrow, Trubisky, and then also Tom Brady not doing too well in there. So the QB situation this year, it's not looking too good. This is surprising, though. 12 interceptions for Cam Newton. So this is how you know Madden is completely unrealistic, and you guys should not take whoever Madden predicts to win this Super Bowl seriously. I mean, they've got Lamar Jackson through 8 games of the season having 54 rush yards. I'll leave it at that. Anyways, looking at the actual running back leaders for the league so far, we've got Ezekiel Elliott up top at 751 yards. That makes complete sense. McCaffrey's down there at number 3 with 600. And, we got a lot of the top backs in the league up here leading the league with those rushing numbers. As for touchdowns, James Conner is up there with 9. Le'Veon Bell behind him at 8. And then the rookie, DeAndre Swift at 7. Okay, pretty interesting stuff here. Taking a look at our receiving stats, see who is leading up. Julio Jones, that's, another guy we always see up top. That makes perfect sense. Just under 800 yards receiving on the year. Cole Beasley is receiver number 2, however, along with then Jamison Crowder. There's Tyreek Hill. It's always funny to just see like these random guys that usually wouldn't be up this high, have Madden simulate them up there to have that, that good of stats. But we got the rookie Justin Jefferson up there, solid numbers for the top guys. They always have Willie Snead as like the leading receiver for the Ravens whenever I do this too, which doesn't make sense either. But as for the most receiving touchdowns, Cole Beasley again. Wow, okay, this guy just must be having a year, man. 9 receiving touchdowns already. Julio's right there at 8, along with Adam Humphries at 8 as well. Jameson Crowder and Snead, once again, they're both at 7 touchdowns, and then we got, goes down from here. But very interesting stuff. There's not very many, like, big-name receivers that are up here in the top, which is very confusing. And last but not least, we'll take a look at our defense. Leading the league in tackles right now is CJ Mosley with 66. I'm not going to lie, it's kind of interesting how all of these Jets players have like very good stats right now. However, their record in game is really, it's they're at the bottom of the division. It's kind of weird, man. It's always funny to see how they simulate stuff like that. But taking a look at our sack leaders, we've got Myles Garrett up there with 12.5. Makes sense. Melvin Ingram is behind him at 12, and then there's Khalil Mack up there with 10. See who our interception leaders are on the year. A bunch of guys at 3. Nobody really ahead of anybody. We got 2 Lions though up at the top 2, both with 3 apiece. Looks like we got a lot of guys with 3 interceptions, however. And then why not? Let's take a look at forced fumbles. See if anybody's forced a whole lot so far. And we've got 2. We've got with both Khalil Mack and Eddie Jackson with 2 apiece. That's funny. And then once again, another Jet, Marcus May. Is that how you say his name? Along with 2 forced fumbles as well. Alright, so enough wasting time. Let's go ahead, just jump straight to the playoffs now and see what this seeding is going to look like. I'm interested to see how we're going to turn things out, man. We'll take a quick look at the stats again. We don't need to take a whole lot of time on that. But I'm curious to see who they're going to put into the playoffs, man. I feel like we're going to get a couple surprise teams, ones that we usually wouldn't see in the regular season, like, in real life. And, oh, man, look at this. We can already see it here, boys. We know 2 teams. It looks like the Bengals snuck in somehow to the playoffs, as well as my Ravens. We're in there. We're fighting for a wild card spot here. So I'm assuming that means the Steelers made the playoffs as well. Whoa, the Steelers just dropped off. What? They're all of a sudden down now at 7 and 8. That is crazy, man. I was trying to look to see if there was a playoff picture, because I saw online that apparently EA is adding that to Connected Franchise, but I guess they don't have it updated just yet. As well as they only have 6. Oh, never mind. There's the 7th playoff team. They were hiding down there below. But looking at the AFC playoff teams, the number 1 seed is the Chiefs and number 2 is the Ravens. Well, what can I say, man? It makes perfect sense. But we actually have 3 AFC North teams that made it. Both the Bengals and the Browns squeaked in, man. And you guys won't believe this. The Steelers, who were leading, they finished in last. I don't know what happened, man, but they just completely fell off. And they're out of the playoffs. I don't know what else to say, man. Sitting at the number 4 seed, we've got the Chargers. Number 5 is the Titans. And then the number 7 seed squeaking in there is Cam Newton and the New England Patriots. So, this looks kind of realistic. I could see some of this happening. I don't know about the Browns going 11-5 though, or the Bengals. Maybe this isn't too realistic, but that's the AFC playoff picture. Taking a look at the NFC now. Oh man, here we go. This looks good. Saints with the number 1 seed. Giants at number 2. What? You gotta be kidding me. They won 11-4-1. We had another tie somewhere. Packers at number 3. 49ers are back in there. They are the 4th seed this year. Falcons at number 6. Or excuse me, number 5. Yes, sorry, I lost count there. And then the Seahawks, they squeaked in at number 6 with the Lions. They got the new number 7 spot for the playoffs as well. Very interesting. So Rams, Cowboys, a lot of teams that usually would make it into the playoffs. They did not do it here for this simulation. But let's go ahead and take a look now at our MVP leaders and all that good stuff. I think they've got all of the award stats already done at this point. But let's see, who's our MVP? Drew Brees. Makes perfect sense, man. I can see that happening. Drew Brees, he's got to go back out on top, man. I wouldn't be surprised if we simulate right here and they got the Saints winning the Super Bowl. Drew Brees, he deserves one more, man. But all of the runners in for the MVP for this season, it looks like, is all quarterbacks. Yep. Looking at, we have to go by the conference. I don't know why they do this. Like, there's only one offensive player of the year. There's not one for NFC and AFC. But looking at offensive player of the year for AFC, it's actually Josh Allen. Okay, interesting. As for NFC, you guys did just see it. It is also Drew Brees. Makes sense. Defensive player of the year is Eric Kendricks for the Vikings. Okay, interesting. The Vikings finished 2-14. Oh my God, that would actually not happen in real life, I would like to think. And then for the AFC, wow, J.J. Watt ended up getting it. And wow, the Texans had 2 ties. They went 6-8-2. What a weird record. And then I think we got rookies. Let's see. We got Justin Herbert for the AFC. NFC, we've got ourselves DeAndre Swift. Okay. And defensive rookie, Chase Young. Makes sense. And then as for the AFC, I messed it up. We've got to see. We've got ourselves Kenneth Murray from the Chargers. All right. And just to go through this quickly, we won't take a whole lot of time here, but seeing who ended with the most passing yards, it was Drew Brees by just 6 passing yards. That's actually pretty funny, but that's obviously probably the reason why he won MVP. And he also went 45 and 7 as his ratio. Wow, that's really good, man. Drew Brees, he's still doing it even in Madden. Ezekiel Elliott, he continued on. He led the league the whole season, it seems like. Ended with 1,500 rush yards and 10 touchdowns. Maybe Saquon had the most touchdowns, though. See him with your 13. Yep, he did have the most, along with Le'Veon Bell. Receiving, Julio, yep, he stuck it out, got number 1 as well. Only 1,300, however. I feel like he would get more than that. Mike Evans back there, though, at number 2 with Tom Brady. That makes a lot of sense. And defense, yeah, I was going to say Eric Kendricks because that makes sense why he got Defensive Player of the Year. For the NFC side, he got 141 tackles, and let's see who led the league in sacks. Myles Garrett with 21.5. Oh my goodness. J.J. Watt with 19.5, Khalil Mack with 18.5. Very interesting. And see who led the league in picks. We've got a couple of 6s here. Stephon Gilmore, James Bradbury, Casey Hayward, and let's go Marlon Humphrey up there as well. I'd like to see that. All right, so I guess all we have left to do at this point is see who is going to be our Super Bowl winner. So let's take it week by week and see who will be advancing into the playoffs, man. Are my Ravens, my Ravens got to beat the Bengals. Come on now. We lost. There's no chance. There's no chance. All right, bro. This is the most unrealistic thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so taking a look at the wild card round, it looks like New England ended up losing to the Browns. So both the Browns and Bengals advance. Yeah, this is bad, man. Chargers ended up beating the Titans. You guys already know the outcome of that one. Falcons took down the Niners. Looks like the Packers beat the Seahawks. Usually it seems like the Seahawks get the better of them in the playoffs. And then the Giants did end up taking down the Lions. So moving on to the divisional round, we've got Bengals Chiefs, Falcons Saints, Chargers Browns, and Packers Giants. And as we simulate forward to the Super Bowl, you guys can see it up top, which, by the way, why does EA have it as Super Bowl 54? Are you guys serious? Isn't it Super Bowl 55 that's about to happen? Great game, EA. You guys did a good job. But they've got themselves with the Browns taking on the Saints. I mean, like I said, it makes sense with the Saints, but the Browns making it through to the Super Bowl, man, I mean, come on. We got to be realistic here, man. Taking a look at the last couple of weeks of games, though, see who did advance. Obviously, the Bengals somehow beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. This is crazy, man. Saints beat the Falcons. That would have been a good matchup. You know, always divisional games and playoffs. That's fun to see. Browns beat the Chargers here, and then the Packers actually took down the Giants. And then in the conference championship games, obviously the Saints beat the Packers, and then the Browns beat the Bengals. It's interesting, man. Very crazy stuff to see. So I guess we just have nothing left to do but go ahead and watching the Super Bowl. Well, unfortunately, guys, there is no way for us to be able to watch the Super Bowl. I thought there was going to be, but we were sitting on Super Bowl week, and there was nowhere to actually go in and sit in with the simulation to watch it. It just automatically, the only thing we could do was simulate to the offseason, which kind of sucks, but I don't know who won it yet. I'm about to go backwards to the Super Bowl and see who is going to win. Do they pick the Browns, or is it going to be the New Orleans Saints winning the Super Bowl? And they've got Drew Brees finally getting his second ring that he deserves, man. They will be coming out on top this year, New Orleans Saints. Hey, I'm just glad they didn't pick the Browns, man, because that just would have been so whack and made no sense, man, because Cleveland is not making the playoffs, not let alone the Super Bowl, man. But there you guys have it, man. Madden 21 this year, they have predicted the New Orleans Saints to be the winners of Super Bowl 55. I believe last year for Madden 20, they picked the Cowboys. I think that was what the outcome was. Obviously, they did a pretty terrible job, but this year I think there's a good chance, man. It's very possible that we see New Orleans being in Super Bowl 55 and taking it home, man. Drew Brees, he's got to get a second ring before he retires, man. He definitely deserves it. But I guess that's it for this one, you guys. I hope all of you did enjoy it, man. If you did, be sure to put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. MUT episode number 2 will be coming tomorrow or the next day, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, once again, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.